The FDA has finally issued a warning on chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, citing serious poisoning and deaths as the reason it should be avoided. Now, this is the drug that Donald Trump had been promoting during his pressers, even though there was very little scientific data indicating that it could be a treatment for coronavirus. And now that we know through various studies that have happened recently, the drug is actually incredibly dangerous if people plan on using it as a coronavirus treatment. So CNBC reported that the agency, meaning the FDA, said that it became aware of reports of serious heart rhythm problems in patients with the virus who were treated with the malaria drug, often in combination with the Z-Pak. So that's the drug that's usually used for the seasonal flu. It also warned physicians against prescribing the drugs to treat the coronavirus outside of a hospital. So just to give you a little excerpt from the statement released by the FDA, they write that hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine can cause abnormal heart rhythms such as QT interval prolongation and a dangerously rapid heart rate. So we already knew. I mean, we had already shown you some studies indicating that there were pretty significant side effects to this drug that impact the heart. And based on the studies that have been done recently, so many people died while receiving treatment with hydroxychloroquine that studies had to be halted. One example was a study that was being done in Brazil. Sweden decided to stop using the drug as a treatment for coronavirus. And these are things that we should all be aware of because, unfortunately, the person leading this country is spreading all sorts of misinformation about it, and people could die. And so you need to be fully aware of what the risks are.
So Trump had said that it was a game changer, that it might have been one of the greatest inventions in medical history. The study out today in the American Medical Association, peer-reviewed, as Anna explained to you. One other thing that Trump said, before I tell you the key quote from the study, he said, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Why don't you just try it? What do you have to lose, right? And the study said that the primary outcome was death. So apparently we have our answer. What you have to lose is your life. Nearly 24 patients died during the study. So that's chloroquine. And it's amazing because Trump had been promoting this drug during every single coronavirus press conference he was having. And then all of a sudden he stopped talking about it and he was called out for it. Get a load of how he denies the change of behavior.
Hydroxychloroquine as a cure.
I haven't at all. What do you say I have? We'll see what happens. We've had a lot of very good results, and we had some results that perhaps aren't so good. I don't know. I just read about one, but I also read many times good. So I haven't at all. And it's a great for malaria, for lupus, for other things, and we'll see what it is.
And so let's just take a quick look at the fact check, because Trump's lying, and it's very clear.
He has not stopped hyping up hydroxychloroquine. By the numbers, we know that's untrue. My colleague Marshall Cohen posted a chart showing that, for example, between March 19th and March 25th, he mentioned it 15 times. Between April 16th and 22nd, just once. So that has fallen off.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, Cenk, that he's not talking about it anymore. But he needs to issue a self-correction because he had been propping up this drug as a treatment for coronavirus every single day. And so he needs to let his supporters know that this is not something that's going to help them and could actually kill them if they use it as a treatment for coronavirus.
The idea that Donald Trump would ever admit he was wrong on anything is, of course, comical. It would never do it, which, by the way, shows you how incredibly weak he is. Insecure little baby. Because a confident person can admit when they're wrong. If you ever watch the show, I admit it all the time. Okay, and we joke around about what an ego I have. Obviously joking. I don't know where people would get that idea. But putting kidding aside, I tell you when I'm right. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's also telling you, hey, look, we know what we're talking about. We've studied these things, so trust us when we say something's going to turn out one way. But if it turns out I'm wrong, I come out here and say it immediately because I don't want you guys to have the wrong impression. And we care about being right. We care about facts. Trump would never do that. In fact, that's why some people think he did the insane thing last night of saying that perhaps you should inject disinfectant and put it in your body and your lungs, and maybe ultraviolet light or very serious light could be injected into your body to cure you, because he's weirdly, desperately looking for a cure. And I'll tell you why. Because he wants to be the hero of the story. He's a little child, and he wants to save the day. It wasn't the doctors, it wasn't the scientists. It was actually Donald Trump who found the cure. And so that's why at first he thought it was this hydroxychloroquine. If it turns out it was right, he was going to come out and say, I told you it was me. I knew it before the doctors. In fact, he said at one point in the beginning, he said, you know, the doctors say I know this stuff better than anybody else does. Maybe I should have got into that line of work instead of what I did. I mean, what a buffoon. So he moves from something that killed people to something that kills people way more effectively, which is injecting disinfectant into your body.
Right. And look, I think part of it is that he wants to be the hero. But the other issue is that the health experts who surround him are people who have worked for the government under both Democrat and Republican presidents for decades. Okay. And he doesn't trust people like that. He thinks that they're part of the deep state. And so he is a conspiracy theorist who thinks that people are purposely destroying his presidency so he doesn't get reelected, which is why he thinks that he needs to question everything they do and promote things that they have not had actual scientific data backing. And it's scary because, again, what depresses me the most about all of this is that people die under his watch because of his incompetence, because of his ego, and because of the fact that he refuses to trust the very people he should trust. And this is what we're dealing with. And his base, the people who support him, are immovable. They will not listen to the facts. They go ahead and listen to what he has to say, and they make excuses for his incompetence all the time.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.